Truck Talk Media.
C10 Talk, episode 294, the SLO Down. Great weather, great venue, great show. We had a blast. I highly recommend it. Here's some pod from the 4th Annual C10 SLO Down.
Absolutely. That went through my head 100 times during the build. You just go back to those renderings, and it gives you the motivation that you need to keep on going. So, and little, steps along the way, setting goals and achieving these goals as you're building it. And you see that vision coming to life, you know what I mean? Piece by piece, it comes to life, and it just keeps you motivated.
Damn, son. Hey, guys, let me tell you about LMC Truck. Keeping generations on the road. Think about that. It's pretty deep. So whether your truck was handed down or something you went out and bought, odds are you were handed a bunch of paperwork, maybe a folder. In that folder was probably the catalog. You know the one, the most up-to-date and detailed catalog available today. It's like an encyclopedia for our trucks. Their website is just as detailed and informative. lmctruck.com. lmctruck.com. So whether you're restoring old memories or creating new ones, LMC Truck is here to help. They're more than just a parts company. They truly understand the lifestyle and passion of owning a classic truck. So get out there and get to work on your truck and know that LMC is here to help. You can get online, lmctruck.com, and order your free catalog today. Keeping generations on the road. lmctruck.com.
Let me tell you what Melba Toast is packing right here. I've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, scored over 30, 11-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind? That just happened.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 Truck podcast.
And now I have a chance to be the best, maybe the best in the world.
My old man is a television repairman. Got the ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
I said I got 50 cents in that jukebox, and all I can hear is your mouth flapping. You hear that?
Here's your host, Ronnie Welch.
What's up, C10 Nation? Put this one on your calendar for next year. When they drop this show, get in there. It is, it's a little bit tough to get to because of where it's located, but it is worth it. It is phenomenal weather. We were like 58 low, long sleeve, maybe a sweatshirt, throwing your pants on, doing a little uniform change midday. Wake up, you have some pants on, then throw on some shorts. And it was like 76 to 84 during the day. So the SLO Down, it's a 2-day show now. It was a little unique. They did like 1 to 3 on Friday. I think what they did there was really trying to get some of those early birds in so that they wouldn't have quite the congestion on Saturday. And it worked out perfect. So if you want the 2-day pass, you pay a little extra, you get in, you're there, and you're good to go. So then you go out, you party, you enjoy the weather, you get back, you're ready to rock, ready to roll. So the 4th Annual SLO Down, awesome show. Paul, you guys, your staff, my hat's off to you. You guys did a really good job. So if you get a chance, hit it up next year. I wanted to do more of a family adventure this year for this show, and it just didn't work out because my youngest is starting school. So hopefully next year it will work out that we can get the girls over there. My son went last year, and then I was hoping I could get my girls and my wife over there this year, but it just didn't work out. But it is a family-friendly event. So if you want to enjoy the beach, the sun, the weather, Pismo, the SLO, add it to your list. Easy money. All right, so what's up next? Good luck to Todd and Jen up at the C10s on the Capitol, Olympia, Washington, August 10th. They're going to be hosting that. Pacific Northwest C10s on the Capitol. I think they're thinking 200, 250, right around that. And then August 30th and 31st, you got the Southern Illinois Truck Show, the SITS. That's 30th and 31st. And then the Intervention out in back in Cali. That's going to be in Woodland. That's going to be the 31st and the 1st. So they do that on a Saturday, Sunday show, whereas SITS is going to be a Friday, Saturday. Both those shows are Labor Day weekend, one in Illinois and one in Woodland, California. So I don't think that there's any crossover there. Then the next weekend, you got the Triple Crown of Rotting in Tennessee. The following weekend after that, you've got the Grand National Truck Show back in Cali, Pomona. Then the following weekend, you've got C10s in the Park, Waxahachie, Texas. So a lot going on August, September right there, keeping everybody busy, a ton of shows. Good times for everybody. We're spoiled, so think about that. You got one in Pacific Northwest, then Illinois, then you're back to Cali, then you're over in Tennessee, then you're back again to Cali, going back to Cali, and then over in Waxahachie, Texas, and I'm sure there's even more. So I know you got the Show Me Shindig coming up. I think that's October 12th, and then the C10 Fall Revival at the end of October. So a lot going on. Good times, great times. All right, let's jump into 294. Interviews from the Slowdown. Don't forget 293 Mission 22. That's where Chris Hamilton from Street Trucks, editor-in-chief, we chatted up about their Mission 22 truck. So that goes to benefit Mission 22, 501c3. Great cause. Think, suicide, depression, Mission 22's focus, and then Street Trucks teamed up and they put a truck together and they're going to raffle it off. And the money will go to Mission 22. That's episode 293. 292, my buddy Jason Hallaby stops by in studio. He owns a transmission shop. At times, he's owned up to 3. So we do a little tranny tech. Don't get excited. I know with the current world we live in, that might sound a little off, but how about transmission talk? All right, 292 with Jason Hallaby. All right, let's get into 294. Stay out of trouble. Do what you do. Have a great weekend, guys. Late. Hey, guys. Slow down. 2024. Man, the weather couldn't be better. We got the beach in the background. And I just thought I'd hit some of the vendors. So we got Mario from Eddie Motorsports. Mario, thanks for taking time. Tell us what's shaking, what's new at Eddie Motorsports.
New for this year, we're doing bucket seats. We're doing bench seats. We have C10 dash covers. We have door panels, full-wrap steering wheels. We have a new D-shaped steering wheel coming out, full wrap. We have our pulley kits. We have LSA pulley kit coming out, Cerakote colors. As usual, our hinges are made in America. We have all of our hinges available, door handles, door pulls. That's it for now.
Ultimately, you guys are known for your hood hinges. We're here at the show. You've got some new seats, a bench seat, an individual bucket, and then really this dash and these door panels. I'm looking at them, and they almost kind of look like they're, like a metal, but they're a fiberglass material.
It's a fiberglass shell. These are sold raw. They can be painted, they can be wrapped, and then we sell the optional billet covers, billet mesh, and all the washers that go with it.
Well, it looks really clean. Yeah. It gives it a very smooth approach. What made you guys kind of jump into that?
We're starting to pivot now, making more products for C10s and interiors. The billet stuff, there's a lot of competition out there, so we're trying to pivot and do some other stuff now.
Okay. You guys are, I kind of look at Eddie Motorsports as one of the pioneers. Your door handles, your hood hinges, you're known for that stuff. But, hey, you're like, we got to add some more options here. You've got pedals, you've got steering wheels, you've got a new dash, you've got new door panels, a lot to offer. Where's the best place for them to see all this?
The best place is eddiemotorsports.com. We're going to have new products out there. We're going to have lighting. We're going to have accessories. New slimline jack coming out. We're going to have a lot of new products coming out this year.
You're really known for your front drive systems. Any change there? Any upgrades? Any options on color?
The thing with ours, now we're offering candy color. We do a candy blue, candy red. We do Cerakote. As everybody knows, our RS drives are the most compact on the market. They sit inside the head, so you don't have everything hanging off. Again, made in America. We have name brand components, and we do them for 4 small block, Chevy small block, big block LSA, Chevy LS, Mopar, and Pontiac.
I was over at Chop Block earlier. Vince's dad, Joe's got a setup over there, and he's got Eddie Motorsport front drive system, and it looks just absolutely stunning. The color, it looks like it is a Cerakote. Are you seeing a little change there where people are wanting less billet and more color?
Everybody wants a bronze now. Bronze is a big thing. Also, the matte black and gloss black. Those are big colors right now.
What's a front drive system cost for, let's say, a small block or an LS?
Those are going to run right around $25.50 for those.
Okay, $25.50, so, $2,500, and you'll get a front drive system. Does that include a compressor or no?
With compressor, with 170 amp alternator, with power steering pump, water pump, everything block forward basically.
And then you pick the color, or how does that work?
We have different options on our website. We have 700 colors, everything from raw machined to polished to matte black, gloss black, and Cerakote. We have all different colors.
Okay, and you guys, as usual, will be at SEMA, correct?
We'll be at SEMA, we'll be in Central Hall, and we'll be showing all of our new products.
And probably even at the Dino's Get Down?
Of course, Dino's, I'll be there too.
Okay, so if you want to see this stuff, Mario's got it on showcase here, and if you can't make it to the SLO, but hey, you can go to SEMA or the Get Down. We'll see you there. Mario, a lot of new products. Thanks for taking time to share with the C10 Nation. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Slow down. We got Vince from Chopping Block, and was pretty stoked to actually see this easy up, if you will, when I came around the corner. Haven't talked to Vince in a while. Vince, how you been?
We're good, man. You know, was a little rough with COVID last couple years, and packing up with inventory. Now we're actually stocking inventory. We've got chassis in stock, ready to ship. We now are finally launching our OBS coilover kit, so that is now for sale and available. We're working on a couple new chassis for the now square body Blazers. We'll have those out soon, air and coilover. But yeah, everything's good, man. We're rolling now. We're ready to really come back out and start shipping some more product.
So you brought up a couple of good points. You know, for the last 3 years, COVID, things have kind of evolved. Are you seeing a lot of difference from airbags to coils, things going up, things going down? What are you seeing in the chassis industry? Because everything kind of does start with you.
Right, yeah, no, actually air used to be really, obviously, I would say 9 out of for every 1 for coilover. Now I would say it's 50-50. We're seeing a lot more coilover. We're seeing guys that build the air ride trucks, now their second, third vehicle. Now they want to build a nice daily, they're doing a lot of coilovers. So it's really a 50-50 mix, and I'd say really what's hot is the 55 to 59 trucks right now. That's really seen the bigger push, because everybody's got a C10 at this point. And now OBS is that next step for people.
Yeah, I just never really thought about that. Hey, we're going to go one direction and we're going to go the other direction. So somebody wants a Tri-5 Task Force Apache style build, and you guys always are at the beginning, right? Because you see the trends, you see what guys are ordering. And I did hear a podcast one time where a guy said, hey, as long as people keep buying chassis, guys are going to keep building trucks.
Exactly. And all the years, these guys are an addiction, right? It's now we'll build this year, now I want this year. Oh, my grandfather had this, oh, my son wants to build this year, and so it's ever so changing all throughout the years, and everybody's got to have everything now.
Another thing that we did notice you kind of are debuting, whether that's on purpose or accident, is the Giuseppe wheel. We saw the wheel cut kind of gunny wheel-esque. Are you guys going to start offering those to the public?
Yeah. So my son's name is Giuseppe. He's 9, and he wanted to start working the shop and building stuff. So we decided to let him kind of help with my old man build a wheel. And so we're sending so many chassis out and rollers, and everybody's got their wheels picked out. And so we kind of wanted to build a quick little roller that he can work on to put for his college fund and as he gets older. So he's building that. Now we're selling these wheels for a set of 4 is $500. And what we do is we ship the chassis, and if people don't want them, they could ship them back us, and we give them a credit. So we kind of did this, and it was kind of neat because we needed to roll all these chassis somewhere. So we figured, hey, you know what, let's kind of build something and give a kid to kind of something cool to learn.
And you probably got them on the shelves ready to ship tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Yep, we got a whole bunch on the shelf ready to ship.
All right, so what wheel lug, what pattern do you got them available in?
So right now we got 5 lug, 5 on 5, and 5 on 4 3/4. But we are doing a slight change where we're going to have 6 lug and 8 lug available, and they're actually also going to do UTVs because everybody's got their toys for getting trailers. So we're going to kind of go on even to the UT market too.
All right, if you want a Giuseppe wheel, Joe and Giuseppe are working together on it. They got the new OBS stuff, so if you want a coilover setup, obviously Joe's got his 67 chassis here, just looks absolutely stunning. Check them out, Chopping Block. They got chassis ready to rock, ready to roll. And if you want them on some Giuseppe wheels, they got those too. Thanks, Vince.
Thanks. Take care.
Here we go. Don't be sitting down. All right, I got Big Ben, Engineered Vintage. And not only did we put you on a full episode prior to last year's SLO, I'm sure we got you. I think we did just a little bit. But you're constantly, coming out with new things. So in the last year, you've got a couple new grills with the E. You've got some amp step brackets. You've got all kinds of different options, including Blazer back seats. So what's shaking over here at the SLO for Big Ben?
Yeah, so we're showing our 85 to 87 prototype Chevy grill out here. So we're excited about that. It's taken us way too long. It's taken us about a year to get it just right. It looks amazing. We're still getting it to fit just right in the truck. And then we're also showing off our Blazer seat backs. These fit 69 to 77 Chevy Blazers, or if you have a truck with the backs, it'll fit that. They're fabricated steel. Then they have brushed aluminum inserts, so a little beefier than the plastic.
You guys all know that if you have a Blazer, you've got 2, if not 3 cracks in the back of that plastic. So Big Ben's got he's offering you up a nice metal option for you.
Yes, sir. Yep. All fabricated steel, and then brushed aluminum inserts, and we can put logos in that or what have you. And then we also are showing off our powder-coated 71 to 72 grill. So we're trying to make that grill look as stock as we can. It looks nice. It gets a lot of eyeballs. People like it. It looks cool.
Well, and because we're an audio podcast, I will do a video of it, but just think, kind of that flat gray. Yeah. And even though it's a aluminum fabricated grill, it looks like a plastic style OG, but it's not going to get all brittle and break like we know the OGs do.
That's right. It's not going to get Brito and break. So this is John Brito had this idea. He's running this on his bronze truck. And when he said, hey, you should do one in gray, I told him he was nuts, and it's been a really popular option. So
it looks really, really good. Yeah. Everything you have looks really good. How about these amp steps?
Yeah, so these are our new amp step brackets for 67 to 72 Chevy truck, Suburban, and panel. They'll also fit crew cab if you have a crew cab 67 to 72. These bolt on, no drilling, no cutting, no modifying your truck at all. They bolt onto your frame. And then we also include wiring harnesses, 2 if you have a truck, 3 if you have a Suburban, 4 if you have a crew cab or a 4-door Suburban. And these have been really popular. We've had these out for a couple months now. They're tested to 600 pounds. I'm a big boy. My son's a big boy. We both got on these and tested them. And we're proud of them. They're excited. My wife likes it. She can get in the truck now. So.
Well, and you've got the root beer bronze, engineered vintage beer bottle bronze, beer or root beer, whatever you want to talk about. It is. I always call it a root beer brown, anyways. But it is one of those. You're on 37s, but what are you on, a 6-inch lift on this truck?
About 10 inches all in. It's about 10 inches of lift and 37-inch tires. Yeah, it's a big truck.
Hey, speaking of Brito, at one point he was trying to pawn off his front Brito Bushwhackers. Are you going to take that over?
I don't know. He's going to be here this weekend, and we're going to talk.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. So business meeting. So if you guys are in the 4x4 off-road and you look at an old, really kind of think that 67-72, Brito makes a good grill guard for that. I don't know if I'd want to spend that kind of money on a just amazingly beautiful engineered vintage grill and then cover it up with a Brito grill guard, but options are options. They've got all kinds of options for you. Check them out as always, and he's got new swag too. I saw he was just posting up something with his new print. They've got the 77 to 80 GMC grills, and then they've got their new 85 to 87 Chevy grills, so they're always working on new stuff. Coming soon. Yeah. Bottom line, it's ready to rock. It's in prototype now. Ben, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate you.
Slow down. What's up? What's down? Hey, light up the night over here. We got UP. I got John Padilla, and they always bring it out. I mean, this is one of those. Really, if you think about it, your booth, because you can do so much display and people could see everything that UP offers. Obviously, touch it, feel it. You've got the sequentials. You've got so much out here. What are you guys offering up? What's new? What's shaking?
Yeah. So we try to light it up as much as we can with the LED lighting. We also have a lot of reproduction parts for first, second gen, third gen out of OBS. But mainly, our bread and butter is the LEDs, headlights, taillights, side markers, anything that has to do with lighting, that's us.
I've seen a big change in lighting in the last 10 years in our industry, from the old yellows. You guys have had a few different styles as well. How do you guys keep up?
Yeah, we just try to innovate and come out with the latest and greatest. I think right now we're heading towards the translucent LED versus the LED diodes. But we're still working that out. There's a few things that we got to look into before we release. As you know, all our stuff is DOT and SE approved.
And you guys are, really pushing the bumpers too. That might be something that people don't really associate UP with, but you guys offer the C10 Nation pretty much every facet, front and rear bumpers.
Yeah, that's right. We've been producing these bumpers for quite a while now, but we're pushing them a little harder because, as you know, our quality is outstanding, and there is some out there, and not to call bad names out, but there is some bad quality, and I hope we just want to get everybody in the C10 Nation with the correct type of bumper quality, so your truck could look the bumper could look as good as your truck.
Well, and ultimately, whether people realize this or not, but UP has been more of a wholesale, so you might have been buying UP bumpers for a long time and not realize it. Now you guys you're part of the scene, you're out here, and you get that perspective for the customer to say, oh yeah, I'm buying a UP bumper. I'm buying a bumper from who's making the bumper, and we all have bumpers that are dinged and dented, and if you want to get a new bumper, I mean, it's a perfect kind of gift for your truck. It's coming or going.
That's right. Yeah, we've been, like I said, producing these bumpers for such a long time, and mainly at the wholesale part of it, but now we're pushing a little bit of the retail side and trying to go direct. But our bumpers have been out in the market for many years.
Okay, well, they've got a little bit of everything out here at the Slowdown, just hitting it up. John, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Hey guys, are you thinking about swapping out your old motor for a more reliable LSLT-based power plant? Behind each PSI harness, you get over 10 years of experience in the business, online tech support, phone support, and harnesses made in the U.S. That's psiconversion.com. Hey guys, whether you're coming or going, UP Car Parts has you covered, or in this case, has you bumpered. They offer high-quality, premium, heavy stamp steel as original in either chrome or black paintable for the C10 Nation. They have all generations covered and ready to ship today. So when you think bumpers, think UP Car Parts. upcarparts.com.
Need C10 parts? Well, here at Pro, we actually have trucks. We build them, we drive them, and we deal with them every day. It's just part of who we are. We carry the best products for your truck project from the major name brands such as QA1, React, Painless, Dakota, Beltec, Borgeson, Bear, and even more. Give us a call or check us out on the web.
You've heard me talk about my gauges. Dakota Digital. I love them. Dakota Digital has the best gauges for our trucks. These kits are complete with sensors for any engine. They look just like the stock clusters, but have all the technology you'd expect from Dakota Digital. It's like a modern truck, but even better in a classic. Dakota Digital is absolutely the best in aftermarket gauges, so check them out at dakotadigital.com. dakotadigital.com. What's up? Saturday, the Slowdown. Thought I'd catch up with Derek from Precision Replacement Parts, PRP.com. You're out here, you're enjoying this weather. How's everything going? The wing windows, or the vent windows, I should say. You guys debuted all that at SEMA 2023. What a program. How's that going?
It's going really well. We put a lot of effort into the research and development on there. We've got those out into our distributors now. And a lot of customers have got them in already, and it sounds like they're really going over well.
So those things are ready to rock and roll. You guys beta tested them, and now you're slinging all the different vents.
Yeah, we beta tested them, and things went really well on the 81 to 87s. We've got those out in the market right now. They're going really well. The 73 to 80s, we're still doing some fine tuning on those, but we're about ready to launch those as well. So probably in about 2 to 3 months, they'll be ready also.
How will we know? The audience is sitting there. We just got to push it out. That's probably a good time to get you back on the pod and say, hey, this is full go.
Yeah. Getting me on the pod would probably be a good idea. But I try to get out there on the social media and get the information. And people hit me up all the time on social media. So, once they're ready, I'll be making posts on there to let everybody know.
Okay, early round eye, 73 to 80. Hold tight. Well, I think our audience and builders have figured out that the amount of time they're going to try to rebuild their old ones is like, hey, listen, you can buy them from Precision. They've already got them ready to rock, ready to roll. Are you seeing any issues, any problems? I know you kind of beta tested that for like a year.
The beta test really worked out all the nooks and crannies on the vents. The 81 to 87, we've got those out in the market. We're still working on the 73 to 80s. There's just a little bit of work we have to do on those, and then we'll be launching those out to our distributors. So yeah, the beta test really worked out well. It's always nice to get a few sets out into good quality builders so they can give us that feedback, and yeah, it worked out good.
What about the hole drill? I know, and I like it that it's not drilled so that it's not saying, hey, you have to be right here. One thing I think it's been misled in our whole life is, oh, this fender has to be exactly how you took it apart. This has to be, hey, they threw these trucks together. So you might put a window in and it's not going to line up perfect. So now you're leaving that blank for the builder, for the installer to make that pilot, if you will.
Well, that's exactly what you said. These were farm trucks. The tolerance on these trucks from factory to factory all over the years was so big, and drilling them out is, we have to have the customer do it. It's the only way to do it. That way it guarantees a perfect fit when you put those in. If we drilled those out, the holes just won't quite line up on these trucks from truck to truck. So the customer will drill them out. They'll have all the hardware, everything. There's instructions in there. It's not difficult to do. But it really is the only way to do it.
And for the audience, if you're thinking, what is he talking about? Essentially, think about when you put your vent window in, there's one spot where it's really going to line up, and they've got it really well. It's on your A-post, and think about when you open your door, nobody's looking at their inner A-post that much in their door. So there's a little pilot there, pivot there, and you're going to drill that, and it kind of just holds it in place there. So initially, one of the betas, they had them pre-drilled, and they figured it out. Hey, leave them raw so that the customer can, unique to their truck, pivot it exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah, exactly, and that is what came out from the beta testing, because we did have them drilled out, and that's what we came up against. They just weren't quite lining up from the different trucks that are out there, and so somebody said, hey, why don't you just leave them blank and we'll drill them out? And so that's what we did. And that's, like I said, it's the only way to go to get a perfectly lined up vent assembly.
Even while we've been standing here, somebody came up and they asked you about some 92 stuff. So the 88 to 98s, the OBSs, they're hot. How's that going?
Yeah, that's the information's getting out there. I think some people still don't realize that we have everything on those the standard pickups for the OBS. We have everything on those trucks: the door seals, belt lines, glass runs, the cowl seals, the foam blocks by the wiper cowl. Yeah, we have everything on those trucks now.
And there's some unique features where some of those, like belt molding, they're more of the old style, clip style, and you might have to pull your belt molding first, consider what year. You're going to have to do a little research on that because you might end up getting the wrong ones and think, well, this wasn't what I ordered. But at the end of the day, we're going to get you on OBS Talk, and we need to talk about that because there is some decisions, some change over years where GM was using old style and then they came out with a new style.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they didn't document any of that stuff, so it was tough for us to find somebody to actually get us a set so we could tool up on it. But yeah, the 88 to 91, 92s, yeah, that clip style's out there, and a lot of people don't know about it, and they're not interchangeable with that late style, so you got to make sure you get the right one.
Bottom line, if you've got an earlier 88 to 92, you might have a clip style like a square body. And then if you've got a newer, especially obviously new interior 95, you're good to go. So you just kind of have to differentiate between the two. Always good to see you. PRP.com. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate it.
Here we go. This is going to be a good one. We're at the SLO. I've got Ben from One Piece Products. And I told him, I was like, hey, Ben, we get a lot of flack on these sometimes where guys are a little frustrated. He's like, hey, bring it. I can walk them through it. It might be a mechanical aptitude. It might be some different variances. But if you think about, getting rid of your wing window, your vent window for, Chevy trucks, we're spoiled. I like a vent window. I like a good vent window. But you've got a great product that's really cleans things up. So welcome to C10 Talk. Thanks for taking time, Ben.
Thanks, Ron.
Tell us about how things are going first and foremost.
Knock on wood, we've been blessed. Moving forward, we've been focusing on improving all our kits by customer feedback, That's how we've been able to actually make a better product. And then we're going to be focusing this coming up year is on YouTube videos for installation purposes for customers that have issues with parts that they're stuck on the install. The kits themselves, we build them off original equipment parts, so original door skins, original doors. But the issue is sometimes we have to also account for the variances between actually other manufacturers that make doors and products for these vehicles. So we have to be able to think ahead and make possible adjustments in our kits for that variance. On top of the fact that I've been doing this for 30-something years. Customers that are usually doing an install is usually their first or second attempt at doing a door glass in general. So there's a gap there in aptitude because of obviously my aptitude. But this is what we're going to point out in the videos of all these variances that we can address in that situation of their position where they're stuck at. At the end of the day, we just want to build a better product for end users. And we're going to be doing that just because of customer replies, customer responses. Give me your feedback. Tell me where you're stuck at. And then if we can do that, I can achieve a better product by just making that small change in our kit or giving you a pointer of what direction to go to on the install process itself.
Well, and like we talked about, YouTube is like the second most used search engine behind Google. So having YouTube, having content, and then, responding, social media works really good that way too. I'll tell you what, a good square body without a wing window or a vent window is pretty sexy when you think about those lines. And the cool thing too is yours doesn't have that little gap filler right at the kind of the A post, whereas the other kits we do know, your piece does not. What are you finding is the biggest struggle that you have for the end user? What's like the number one Q&A question that people are coming back with?
I think at the end of the day, it's the adjustment points. It's getting the right angles of the glass. That's why we also partnered up with Precision and New Relics for the power conversion upgrades that we are actually providing in our kits now. These kits are direct bolt-on units now, taking away a lot of angles, figuring out position of the regulators. So that takes a little bit of stress off the end installer for that. And then on the scraper side, we're making our kits, the scrapers and run channels. Precision has got it down as far as making the product for those vehicles, making our installation process easier because of that as well. Now, at the end of the day, the installation process is also going to be dictated by the tolerances inside the door. Depending on the trucks, depending on the vehicles, there's always some excess sheet metal that's got to be removed. So in order to remove it, you got to figure out a way to actually remove it. I've figured out a certain way of doing it, but there also is probably a better way of removing it that somebody's figured out that hasn't told me, or if there is, cool, let's open it up and then let's just go ahead and talk about it. But I figured out a certain way of removing that excess sheet metal that usually is an obstruction inside the door for the full glass itself, so it can fit in the door. And the removal process of that, I think, is where people really get stuck on.
Here's the bottom line is even if I keep everything stock on a stock door, whether that's 67 to 72, a square body, there's variances there. The damn door's been alive for 50 years, and we all know when you're going in, you're doing a full PRP, you're going in, you're changing out your belt line, you're changing out all your felt, you're kind of your runner. There's a movement there, and there's variances and slop in everything that we do. So you're trying to go in there and tighten it up. So you have to have almost like a shakedown, and then, hey, we have to have 2 to 3 adjustments, assuming once we tear all this out and we put a one-piece products kit in our truck.
Yes, sir. There is adjustments. Even after all is said and done, those adjustments actually come in after the fact, because you can drive the truck for a month or two, and then actually something shifted in the door, then you just got to reposition it again. That's all it is. As far as the components in the kit, we use high quality components in all our brackets and all our run channels, in the glass itself. Glass is made in the USA. All our brackets are made in the USA. I mean, we got to stand behind what we got right here in this country. So we got to keep moving forward, build a better company, build a better product at the end of the day.
Awesome. I love it. And you have such a gamut, right? So you've got Ford stuff, C10 stuff, van stuff. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tri-5 Task Force stuff. So now you're in the vans. What do you offer in there?
So we a new release kit that we just released last year was the G vans, 73 all the way to 96 G vans. The old popular vans, they were the A-Team van, basically back in the days. Everybody remembers the A-Team, that same van. We got the General Lee. We got a one-piece window for the 68 to 70 Charger. That's people are eating that one up. And then, you know, I'm still looking into the future, building up other kits. We're focusing on Fords now because the Ford guys are, you know, asking, you know, knocking on our door saying, you know, what about us? And here we are. We're about to release the 67 to 72 F-Series. And also we already have the 73 to 79 F-Series available on our website. On top of the fact that we're getting pushed by the Dodge guys. So in the future, the D-Series guys, 73 all the way to 91, we're going to be addressing that by the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year. And we're going to be partnering up with another company that all they do is Dodge. So
nice. Yeah, hey, if you've got a vent window, a wing window, and you want one piece, hit him up because Ben's looking to grow, looking to make the best that he can. He's out here at the Slowdown. Right now, for our audience, the C10 Nation, what's a retail on a square body kit or a C10 kit?
The C10 kit, they can start at $865 all the way to $895. Now, if you start adding power upgrades, that changes the price, which is all available on the site. They start at $485 for the power window upgrades. You also you have the flexibility of choosing what style switch you want in the kit. You can go with the chrome, the crank handle style switches, like old school crank handle, or the black ones, the black billet switches, or the regular standard billets. So you have options to choose from.
Awesome. So, bottom line is, you want one-piece windows, one-piece products. You want maybe a new Relic power window system. You're going to get new precision. You're going to get it all. You're looking at probably about $1,500 and get yourself set up. Ben's got you. Tell us your email, or your website, and your social media.
The website itself is the www.onepieceproducts.com. You spell everything out. Instagram account is the number 1, and then Piece, P-I-E-C-E, products. That's it.
Check it out, One Piece, O-N-E. And then if you're online, www. And then obviously social media, Instagram, use the number 1, and he's got you. We appreciate your time. Anything else?
That's it. I appreciate your honesty in an interview.
Yeah, YouTube. I told them, put that shit on YouTube because people are going to run to YouTube, and it does look clean. I like a vent window, but it also looks really, really clean. So good luck. If there's anything we can do, thank you, Ben.
I appreciate it, Ron. Have a good day. Thanks again.
We got some slow down, sexy music in the back. I got Brett Anderson, 72_plaid_sub. Dude, finally. I mean, you've been hitting the circuit really good. Thankfully, you're wrapping it up and you're enjoying it. And you came out to Reunion, and I want to thank you for that because that was, not necessarily the debut, but I know you're kind of on a little run here. Been seeing you obviously at Utah. You're here at the Slow. You're finally, this has been a long time coming. Walk us through the build, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me at the Reunion. That was a great show. But getting back to the Suburban, it's been about 5.5, 6 years total project. A lot of life got in the way during the build and had to shut it down a few times over the years. So anyway, stuck with it and finally got it done late last year. Around got it to Dino's. Was out there, kind of busting my ass for a couple of weeks to get it out there, but got it out there, and then kind of was the debut at the Reunion Truck Show for me. So again, I appreciate you having me out there, and it's, I don't know, we're really enjoying it, my wife and I, just finally getting to, after, like I said, 5.5, 6 years of wrenching on this thing and getting it finally almost done. We're getting out and enjoying it, and it's just been a lot of fun. All these shows, and this Slowdown here is hard to beat, man.
Yeah, great weather, and it's cool because you're in the front row here, featured in this front row area. People are checking it out. That's got to feel good. But I think in a testament to the journey, you had such a great vision at the very beginning. You really did. Your vision and rendering didn't change much, over the years. I forget the guys, but there were some brothers that were doing some renderings, and it was very advanced at the time. I know you had them make you a rendering,
yeah.
and I don't think they even do them anymore, but it was really kind of futuristic what they were doing.
Yeah,
I think that you you kept with it, right? So how do you feel like you were able to maintain that?
You know, when I worked with it was Anthony Miller. They went by Moffett Bros, I believe, on Instagram. And I started talking with him and just kind of described my vision to him. And he knocked it out of the park with the renderings back then. And it was kind of a little bit ahead of its time, I think 2018. And that was the vision, and he, minor revisions to it along the way. But, yeah, it pretty much stayed the same. I wanted to keep it clean, classic, and just, wanted it to still look like the Suburban, the way it, GM built it back in '72. So clean and classic, just updated with all the modern equipment. And that's kind of the style or my vision from the beginning, and I just stuck that through, and I'm glad I did. I love it.
I think less is more, and our buddy Digital C10, Kevin Stickle, he's not quite as active as he used to be, but he took what GM gave us and then he made it better, and that's what you did. You gave it the stance, you took the GM, you enhanced it. Obviously the Dells make it pop. I know people just absolutely love seeing those wheels, and that's a big expense. That's a big thing for you to take that leap. I think the thing for me that as I watched you over these years build this thing is you stayed with it. Was it challenging, and did you ever want to change something, and did you end up changing anything that you wouldn't have done maybe 5 years ago?
I don't think so. I mean, this has just been my vision from the beginning here. Obviously you mentioned Delmo's wheels, and that was one of the first things I bought. I can't see any other wheel on this Suburban still to this day. So that was also part of the vision from the beginning, and probably get the most comments about those wheels on there. Everybody loves them. A few people, could take it or leave it, but anyway, yeah, that kind of I wanted that clean, classic look, and that's part of it. Keeping those Dell CSTs on there, it just looks like the original wheel, and kept the Suburban looking like a Suburban. You know what I mean? All the trim, the emblems, everything's on it. I didn't change anything. I can't say that there's anything that I would go back and do any different. There's things that kind of progressed along the way, like the rear seat I stuck in there backwards, just because of the floor modifications and everything like that. The third seat wouldn't fit in there anymore, so I just decided to throw it in there backwards, and everybody loves that too. I guess that's probably, I get a lot of comments on that as well. But
it's almost accidental awesomeness, because I remember the first time I saw it, and I think you were like, yeah, I just threw it in there. But going back to the old station wagons, that's really what people did. They had the backward seats, kids could jump back there, and it definitely allows people to see the plaid and the setup that you have when they're walking behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely, guys of our generation, it kind of throws them back to the age when they grew up back in the 70s and 80s back then, right? They see the seat backwards, and it reminds them of their mom's or their grandma's old station wagon that they grew up in, so it's just nostalgic for them, and I love the look of it. I think it worked out perfect.
I agree. It looks so good. Now, you're in a fishbowl. Is that one of those things? I'm glad you haven't done like a dark tint. Do you have like a ceramic tint on there? Do you feel it when you're driving?
No, I haven't done anything with it. So it's just, I wanted to keep it clean, classic looking, so I haven't done any tint on it at all. It's just, and it's warm.
I think, just so you know, I came down with Soul Prince, and he's got a full ceramic on like a clear tint on the front, and I guess I'm not a big tint guy, I don't know, but I guess you can almost get like a 9 or 100% clear, and it's like a ceramic protection. So I get it. You're in a fishbowl. Even Yellowstone, you felt it. So it's like, damn, it's a lot to cool this off, and you're really feeling it. But at the end of the day, having that clear glass is so classy, because it does give it that old school look. Like, hey, I got this from Grandma and slammed it.
Yeah, exactly. I got to look into the tint though. It does have the rear AC unit in there. I don't have it. It's one of the things that needs to be finished up on it still. AC's working in the front, but if you're in the front seat, you're good. If you're behind that, it's a little warm back there.
And Vintage Air makes a dual for that, so you get the double setup. I'm not sure because I haven't done it, but something to look into, because obviously, you know, a big Suburban like this, you're going to draw down that horsepower. Did you, another thing that I really want to kind of compliment, and it come off as a compliment, but you didn't put any roof rack on it. You give it that streamline. Was that a challenge to keep a roof rack on it, or have you ever thought about, hey, maybe I should put something up there?
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. You know, just being involved in the forum, 67 72 Chevy truck forums over the years, saw several versions of roof racks that I think the dealers put on over the years, right? And really kicked it around. Found a couple of decent condition roof racks, and really thought about putting that on there. But then again, I go back to the clean, classic look, and just wanted to keep it smooth. You know what I mean? And I love the way it turned out.
Yeah, I really do too. So you're at the finish line. You know, there's always 5-10%. We want to do, like you said, the rear AC. Now you're just kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor. Mama's loving it. Family's loving it. What's your thought? How give these people out there that are stuck. Maybe they got a rendering done. They've got a year left, or they don't have money. Whatever the reason is, they're trying to work through and push through. You know, what's that advice for that journey?
Yeah, just stick with it. You know what I mean? And that's what I thought all along the way. I had the vision, and I just stuck with it. You know, there's things in life that come up. They're going to get in the way. Don't get discouraged. Just stick with it. There's no timeline for any of this stuff. You're not going to miss anything, you know, and I thought that along the way as well. I got to get it out there at some point. You know, I'm missing out on this, on this Chevy truck, era or whatever. It's going on. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So just stick with it and, deal with life as it comes.
Yeah, because you can't control all of what life brings you. I kind of say, get a rendering done. Get a really good rendering. Put it on your computer. Put some pictures in your locker, whatever it is, and use that picture to drive you.
Absolutely.
Because that picture, that rendering will inspire you. And did you ever find, like, hey, I keep looking at this. It's on my screensaver. It's on my phone. And I'm constantly seeing this. I'm like, you know what? I got to get this goddamn thing done.
Absolutely. That went through my head 100 times during the build. You just go back to those renderings, and it gives you the motivation that you need to keep on going. So, and little, steps along the way, setting goals and achieving these goals as you're building it. And you see that vision coming to life, you know what I mean? Piece by piece, it comes to life, and it just keeps you motivated going on. Just don't get discouraged. Obviously a Suburban is a massive project, and had a few people talk to me about building a Suburban, and I told them, I would, you got to be dedicated. That's what, it's a huge project, and it's just, stick with it. Go back to your renderings, your original vision, and use it for motivation.
I remember, it could be like 3 years now, and you pulled it out, and it was out in the driveway, the wheels, you had it, probably just manually clipped down, and it was out in the driveway, and it was just like, holy shit, is it done? Like, is he driving it? But that's got to be motivation too, where you're like, I went from the rendering to this, now I just got to take it to that 80%, that 90%.
Yeah, absolutely. You get little updates on Instagram and things like that, right? Throw it out there, and then you get a little feedback from people out in the community too. And this community is great. It's another form of motivation as well, right? And or you get questions about it from other guys that own Suburbans or are working on the same thing you're working on. You know what I mean? And that also fuels that fire too, and just keeps you motivated. You know what I mean?
Well, social media makes us all feel like, and even TV, like, oh, we could have this done in 6 months, and life gets in the way, and that's the hard part. So don't feel like, you're screwing up or you're failing because you're not. Because just like Brett, it took you a lot longer than you thought. Life got in the way. You might not. If I said, hey, would you change anything? Hey, you know what? Life is life. I can't change it. So at the end of the day, we're going to do what we did. I'm out here. I'm enjoying it. And the journey is the journey. And that's part of it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's absolutely worth it in the end. This is what makes it all worth it. All those years, of having to shut it down, starting back up, getting back into it again. And then, once it's to this level and you're actually out, at the shows with it, it just doesn't get any better than this. This is what makes it all worth it.
lot of times, guys, we don't want to go to shows because we need to be finishing our projects. So you want to come to the show to be motivated. And it's like anything. It's like working out. It's like being on a healthy diet. It's like you get in a groove. It's like, hey, I'm in the groove. I want to, every day I'm getting 2 hours, 3 hours. Weekends I'm getting 8 hours because you're driving to that finish line and you're normal. So get in your groove, get out there, do what you can to save the money and have fun. And remember, take your time in the perspective of you're not missing out on anything. It'll be here. Let's get it done. Let's have fun, and the community will rally behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll find that there's a ton of love, for this Suburban now, and it's just really cool to get out and enjoy it, So yeah, definitely stick with it. Have a vision, have a plan, and set some goals. You know what I mean, and don't think you're gonna miss out because.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, because when you come out to the show, you'll be loving it. You'll be proud of it. People will be giving you kudos, so that's what kind of keeps everything going. So, Brett, thank you guys for taking time. I know you were walking around. Appreciate you getting it done, bringing it out here, and we're glad that you are where you are with it. We love the burb. Thanks again. Oh, hey, real quick, C10 Nomads, what's going on with that? Little shout out to the Vegas crew.
Yeah, a few of the Vegas guys got together, and so we're doing the C10 Club Nomad now, and it's been interesting just kind of meeting some new guys around town, and there's a lot of interest in it right now. So it's been good to get together with a good crew of guys with the same interests, in these old Chevy trucks, and just a lot of good people. You know what I mean? It makes it all worth it too.
Yeah, you got Rich and Big L from Big Homies, so you guys check them out. C10 Club, is it _ Nomads or just all one C10 Club Nomads?
C10 Club Nomads, all one word.
All right, check them out. You can check out Brett's Bourbon, 72 _ plaid _ sub. Sorry if this background music was a little too loud. We're kind of right by the stage, but I wanted to grab an interview with him, so we appreciate it. Have a good show.
Thanks for having me, Ronnie. Appreciate you.
So you bought a C10, and it either had AC at one time or it wasn't even an option. Well, Vintage Air has the solution for you. Their SureFit kits are designed to place the evaporator and hoses behind the dash for a factory clean look. The Vintage Air SureFit kits are the best value and the most completely engineered air conditioning system you can install in your C10. Damn, son, the choice is obvious. VintageAir.com.
Classic Performance Products, CPP back. Joe, let's talk X10 spindles. Go.
One of our most popular parts through the years has been our 2.5-inch drop modular spindles. Really popular part. Well, we've kind of taken that to the next step. We've emulated late model Corvette, Silverado, Chevy technology into our new X10 drop spindles. They use a steel hub, sealed bearing hub, really strong piece. It's oversized bearings. Definitely great for a guy using big brakes, big wheels, which I'm sure all your guys are.
You need a new spindle anyways. You're going to lower your truck. You're running a bigger wheel, a bigger brake. CPP's got it for you with their new X10 spindle. Joe, as always, thank you. CPP, classicperform.com. It's classicperform.com.
Sniper 2. Are you ready to switch out that old carb for a modern EFI system? Well, Holley has a solution for you. The all-new Sniper 2. This new system was redesigned from the ground up. Available in tumbled polished or black powder coat, and there's 3 available tuning interfaces. A classic 3.5 handheld, a 5-inch mountable, which includes a GPS speedo or a Bluetooth module so you can use your smartphone. Another big bonus is the Sniper 2 has a built-in transmission control module. So if you're looking to upgrade to a 4-speed overdrive, 4L60, 4L80, you now can with ease. Holley.com to get started today, Holley.com.
Marquet has been in business for over 40 years. It all started in the original owner's garage. From humble beginnings of a couple parts in a garage to a 2-building manufacturing facility making over 6,000 parts, Marquet has grown to be one of the country's premier truck parts manufacturers. They have made their original parts from the original trucks. All parts are manufactured in-house in Oklahoma City, USA. They offer quality parts built by Americans for old American-made trucks. So when you're looking for body moldings, bed strips, bedwood, and so much more, think Marquet. That's mar-k.com.
Hey, I worked my way to the back. I love working my way to the back and seeing what's back here. So I'm walking, and I've got this "Don't Tread on Me" flag. I've got a 1972 K20 sitting right, got the patina. I mean, to me, this is really just one of the best trucks there is built. It draws me in. I love the brush guard with the hitch on it.
Right.
Again, remind me your name.
I'm Brian.
Brian, he's told me that 3 times. Brian, tell me about your truck, brother.
This is a 1972 K20. It was factory 4-wheel drive. I recently upgraded to the 1-ton suspension, so Dana 60 up front, 14 bolt in the rear. Got the off-road designs, crossover steering.
Did you go high or stay low?
It's crossover with the low, not the full high steer. We did all the heavy-duty shackles, the shackle mounts. We did the shackle flip in the rear from off-road design. All the off-road design bump stops.
So how'd you get this truck?
So this was my father's truck. He bought it from a guy in Solvang. I believe to be the first owner, maybe second owner. So it had a lot of coastal rot and sweaty, rusty metal. So we're still kind of working through that, getting some donor cab stuff. But basically just been cleaning it up and using it. It still hauls firewood. It still pulls a trailer. It gets worked, and I take it up in the trails and have fun with it. So it's...
Let me give you my 2 cents, and we just met, and you probably don't care. But look at you. You're kind of weathered. You're kind of ornery. You've got some scars. Don't try to make this thing perfect. Embrace that truck. Embrace that paint. Embrace those scars, because this truck just looks really good the way you have it. And what happens is you try to fix too many things, and it becomes like almost too nice. And this to me is really, because you drive it, you love it, and you don't have to stress about it.
Well, shiny paint makes anxiety, right? So this is a perfect example of I could still go through a brushy trail and haul out a cord of wood if I wanted to. Chainsaws, dirt bikes. We got the kids' gear in there, so it's for fun. And that's what it is. My dad, that's how he used it and treated it, and we got rid of a lot of primer that was on it and brought the old patina and got a lot of the original green paint back, and we want to just kind of embrace what happened to it. So we'll patch it up as we go as far as the big rot spots, but I think I want to keep the patina OG feel,
and when you say big rot, I'm not, for the audience, he's making those. He's making them bigger than they are. They're not that big. I mean, it is character. So what did Dad do? Did Dad put on some of that, like that front push guard with the hitch? Did he use that? Did you guys push a boat? Was it the old man? It looks like it has aftermarket AC, which is super cool. Tell us a little bit more about that history, if you do know, some of that with this truck.
So my dad got this truck, and it was completely, pretty much factory 4x4 stock before it was lifted on the 16.5 slotted mags, and it had a lot of surface rust, and he kind of sanded it and spray bombed the whole cab front clip, so it was all primer, 3 different colors primer. There was red primer on the hood and gray everywhere. And I love the old man, but I had to take that primer off. I had to wet sand the shit out of it, get it back down to the medium green with the white top, and then kind of preserve it. But we used it as a truck. It always was a truck, so we pulled boats, loaded it with dirt, dump runs. I mean, we had bedside rails above, and this thing was full of plants going to the dump, and if we didn't get to the dump, it would sit in there for 2-3 weeks, and then it'd go to the dump then when truck was full. So
and you used it as a kid. You were sitting shotgun, you were looking at that dash, you probably were like, Dad, let me drive.
Oh yeah, this is where I got my wings on the 4-speed and learned how to use a clutch and everything. And it was more like, Junior, you're driving, we're going to buy this other car, so you're driving the truck, kind of figure it out. But yeah, this is it. This is where grassroots started.
Well, you've got a couple character things that I really like too. So he's got the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. He's flying. Dad, or maybe even the original owner, has an NRA sticker that's been on there a long time. Yeah. You've got a "Don't Blame Me, I Voted for Waylon." Yep. So yeah, you've got your own little touches on here, and then you've kept the OG. We won't even talk about the hang loose sign. I mean, that thing's perfect. But what about that aftermarket AC? What do you know about that? Because I have never seen a center dash control like that.
No, so I don't know. I thought it was an AC truck, tell you the truth, and then going through the data plate and it didn't call for it. So I don't know what model it is or where it came from, but the original owner was going to give us the compressor when we bought the truck, but we never got it from him. He couldn't find it, so we're probably going to go with the vintage air eventually and try to rerun what we got, because I think it's pretty bitchin' in there. It's a little different, and
for the audience, and I took a picture, but I'll try to explain it. It's almost like the center vent for obviously 67 to 72. The center vent above the stereo. A lot of times what we've done over the years is you block off one side so that the air will blow more on the driver's side. And he's got two different controls there, but he does have the, kind of the left and right AC vents. So it is an aftermarket system. It's just very unique. The 4-speed. Are you still running the stock 350?
Yes, stock 350, mild RV cam. It's probably been the same one in there for the last 15 years. I think it got a rebuild about 15 years ago, and that's still pulls the grade at 55 miles an hour, no problem, without pushing on it too hard, and it's a runner, Got a couple motor plans. I got a 427 tall deck for it, and throwing up the idea of the LS, but I don't know if I have the heart to do that. So
she's still running. You talked about you went 1 ton on it. What ratio did you end up running?
It's 410s. It's got a Gracie locker in the back, Detroit up front. 410s was the same ratio that came out of it. So it had a factory Eaton with the locked. As far as the data plate showed, it was a locked rear end, but the Eaton was kind of screwed up, and we had big issues with the Dana 44, the big hub. So that's why I kind of went with the more modern stuff and heavier duty. And I've always been a rock crawler guy, so I was going to put some rock sliders on this thing, kind of just make it beef where you can hit trails and not worry about it, just have fun.
Well, did you notice, and because you went with the 37s, did you think oh, these are 35s? Oh, because they're 37, they're 315 75 16s. Yeah, so they're 35s. So you went with the 35s. Did you think about changing the ratio at all to like a 456?
If anything, I probably would have went lower to like a 513 or 538. And I think I would just bypass the 37s, go 39s if I go bigger tires, and then try to recenter them without cutting. I don't want to cut the fender wells, so that was my one.
I'm glad. Yeah, don't get too crazy. Another thing that this has is a extra tank. So it's like a factory extra tank. Back then they added those. The cool thing was they put that filler high versus cutting that side door in like we saw a lot of them do. So they would either do side door, they would come in from the rear by the fender well, or by the tire, I should say, wheel well, or they went high, and yours is high.
Yeah, it all works too. I've ran out of gas just last week when the selector was on the wrong tank, so I thought I had a full tank and it just never went down. But yeah, so the selector works on the dash, tells me the level on both of them. It's got the little stock change valve down by the seat, and it all works. I have no plans on changing that anytime soon.
And I think, again, I hope some of the audience knows, but these trucks had like almost just a Venturi flow, and it's kind of like an arrow. If you think about like a little weather spline up on the cabin or whatever on the barn, and you just turn it one way and it's running off whatever tank you want it to run off of, and you've got a little indicator there. For me, my first K10 it would just sputter real bad, and I knew I got to reach down and turn that valve real quick, otherwise I was going to run out of gas. And I always hated that, and I felt, God, that's just got to be bad on the motor, because it's just like hopping and popping, and then you're like, oh shit. And if somebody else drove your truck and didn't know, they'd find out real quick.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like an anti-theft. If you got an empty tank, you just put it on that one and you just can lock them out. And it's got the Millennial anti-theft, which is the 4-speed, and yeah, it's got that big old petcock, so if you start sputtering, you got about 30 seconds before she runs out.
Yeah,
so
if that. I love your truck. Do you have a name for the truck, and what's next with it?
No name, man. This is it was given to me by my father, and so it's just been the Mean Green Machine for the most part. It just, it just gets used all the time. So it's just the workhorse is what we.
If I gave you $5,000, what would you do with it if you had to put it towards a truck?
Well, that's what we bought the truck originally for from the original owner for $5,000.
Best investment you ever made.
Yeah, by far, my dad's best Craigslist find for sure. But if I had $5,000 to put in this truck right now, I would say, oh man, I would definitely do some steering upgrades. I want the hydraulic ram assist. That's about $1,000. I'd probably do, like I said, rock sliders. Probably just beef it up a little more, make the cab a little more comfortable for my wife and kid, and maybe get after some more rust repair.
Yeah, leave that rust alone. Love it. Where can we find you on IG?
Mine is Beano, Bean__O. Beano.
Like bean, like refried bean?
Yep. Like
BEAN__O.
Yep, just like the Gas X product.
What's the story with that?
Last name's Bean. And
Brian Bean?
Yep, Brian Bean, double B's.
Nice.
Yep. And so that's.
They call you Beaner as a kid? Were they, hey, Beaner?
Yeah. Yeah. Every football coach and.
Yeah. Hey, Beaner, get your ass over here.
Exactly. Oh, I had to put up a lot of different names. The whole Bart Simpson, more you eat, the more you toot. All those nursery rhymes and shit. So, yeah. But hey, Mr. Bean came out, and next thing you know, I was like a celebrity. I'm like, that's my uncle, man. You didn't know that?
Yeah, my uncle lives in the UK, wherever the hell he's from. I don't know, but all right, we love the Mean Green Machine. You guys can check him out at BEAN__O. Beano and his 1972 K20. We love it. Don't change a thing. Leave it alone. Right. Don't get carried away. Rad ride. Thank you, Brian.
Cool, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Talk about a gem. Gilbert, 1972 Okra, two-wheel drive Blazer, and you've got it kind of, people might think it's even a four-wheel drive because you got it all natural. It looks like a dealership ad, the way that you have it. It looks just really untouched, unmolested. You went back to OG. Tell us about your Blazer. Thanks for taking time to be on C10 Talk.
Yeah, I purchased it about 7 years ago. I bought it up in Calistoga. It's above Napa. And it's a 72 factory two-wheel drive with a small block 350. Everything's pretty much original. It's never been lowered or no holes cut in the interior, so I pretty much want to keep it the way it came out of the factory as it did, back in 72.
Well, in Okra, right, you've got a really good paint job. Did you restore it? Has it been repainted? The interior looks like you redid that. What all have you done to it in the 7 years that you've had it, Gilbert?
I haven't done anything to it. The way you see it is the way I purchased it. And the person that I bought it from pretty much, as you can see, took well care of it. And they really didn't want to part with it, but I ended up being the lucky guy to end up buying it.
What's the secret? You find it, you work the guy, you tell him, hey, you just throw some money at him? How'd that go about?
Well, I had been looking for one for a while, and we came across it, and I almost didn't even go look at it because my wife was the one that pushed me into getting it because she told me I would probably never find another one like it.
She was talking about the Blazer or her?
Both. Yeah, so it was a great investment, and I'm glad I jumped on it, and I'm very happy with it, and probably keep it for the rest of my life.
How do you fight the urge, or when you see the Blazers, especially the two-wheel drives, they're lowered, the stance, do you fight that? Is that a thing where you're really like, man, I want to do that, or do you say, hey, I love that I'm unique and I stand out the way mine is?
Yeah, now it breaks my heart to see when other Blazer owners hack and chop and cut, and I mean that's their personal opinion of how they want to do their cars, but I love seeing it the way it came out of the factory, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. I have no plans on cutting it or dropping it or doing anything like that.
Well, and I kind of am a purist as well. I mean, I love a lower two-wheel drive, don't get me wrong, and now you see four-wheel drives. I almost kind of like it when a four-wheel drive's converted because you're like, well, that's fine, you're already going to change it up. With a two-wheel drive, though, when they start hacking stuff, but I like the purist in you that you're keeping it that way. I got to think you get a lot of comments on that because of it's really unmolested.
Yes, I get a lot of compliments, and everybody that that sees it, they tell me leave it alone, don't do anything to it, and that's how I'm gonna keep it.
So I was looking at it. It's a CST. It doesn't have AC. It does have a tilt. I mean, it's a pretty high option rig.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about adding AC?
I thought about vintage AC, but then that's gonna take probably. I don't know what that's gonna do to the value of it because it's not original. So I pretty much plan on keeping it original. I mean, you want AC, it's got no top. Just enjoy the air, right?
Well, and you being in Cali, do you really have to have AC? You know, it's like you don't have to have AC. I don't think it would hurt the value, and the value is merely interesting because you're probably never going to sell it. But you got to make it the way you want it. And like you said, hey, I got the AC, I got the top, man. I got great AC because it's still 240, right? Two windows down, go 40. Yes, you got just a big ass top that comes off.
Yes, sir. Yep, I agree.
What do you call it?
I'll call it my baby.
She is your baby. I bet you treat it like your baby. I bet you've got the original caps. The one thing that's different, I don't know if you did it or the original owner, or the previous owner, but you've got the exhaust coming out in front of the rear tires versus out the back. Is that something that you did?
No, that's the way I got it when I purchased it. All I did to it was put a stereo system in it. Other than that, the way you see it is the way I got it.
And give it a lot of love.
Well,
I think your investment, if you think about it, that you've had it for 7 years because you haven't had to do anything. You got it. You've enjoyed it. You probably doubled or tripled your money. We love it. It's your baby. Your wife made the right decision, and you made the right decision by listening to her. I'm glad you got it, Gilbert. Thanks for taking time to be on the podcast.
Yep, you're welcome.
Do you have social media, Instagram or anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, we won't check it out. Don't check him out on Instagram because he doesn't have it. But I'll take a couple pictures of the Blazer. Thank you, Gilbert.
All right, you're welcome.
1964. I walked by this thing. I mean, it's got a lot of taste. So little things. It's kind of like a Traveler, if you will. It's got the roof rack, and then you go to the back, and the plumbing is killer. We'll get to that. But I've got Pavel. Pavel, you got a 1964 C10 Chevrolet. It's been LS swapped. Tell us about your truck, brother.
I've had the truck for about 5 years. When I originally bought it, it came with the 350 and the 4500 NV transmission. So obviously we swapped it out for 5.3 LS with the 4L60 transmission. And it's been running pretty good ever since.
What about the style? It's just cool what you've done, and again, are you the general and you get the right guys behind it? Because there's a lot of vision with this truck, from your ender fenders to having the 64 in there, the swap, the roof rack, the plumbing in the back, the stance, the color, the patina. It is one of those trucks that it will draw you in.
Yeah, it definitely gets a lot of attention, and it's kind of funny because little things will catch your eye. And, I did some minor stuff to it, but yeah, just like I said, little details, will catch your attention.
So the shop, where's the shop you said?
One of the shops is No Limit Muffler and Fabrication in Roseville, and then the other shop that did the transmission and the engine install is in Galt, and the installer is Travis Williams.
Well, Travis has done a good job, and you guys have good vision. The 5.3, hell, that NV4500, that thing's worth money. Those things are hard to come by. I hope you made some money on that. How about the interior? You got a beautiful brown interior with a patina. It really all flows together. It looks like you might even have gauges. What all? You've got air ride, airlift. What else have you done?
Yeah, so it's got the airlift system in it, and it's got the Dakota digital gauges in it as well. And then it's got a Forever Sharp steering wheel, and I did the seats, had them upholstered, and the door panels in the shop in Yuba City.
How about this roof rack? That thing is bitching.
So the roof rack mounts I got from Sweet Patina, and then the roof rack I kind of made it myself, just out of cheap parts out of Home Depot.
Yeah, I mean, it's an electrical conduit on top, and you bend it 4 times, and you made a ring, and then you've got the wood in there, and it really kind of flows with the patina and the stance. You've got a little bit of pinstriping on here, too. Give it that accent.
Yeah, so I like the pinstriping. A local guy in Folsom did some of the pinstriping, and then somebody else in Citrus Heights did added a little more flavor to it.
One of the things about these trucks is, you see it in 64. It's a work truck. It wasn't going to be slammed with US Mag Ramblers and Airlift and Dakota Digitals. But what you did is you gave it your own style, and it'll be a kind of a legacy that'll kind of live on and roll on, if you will, because of the way that you kind of brought it all together, taking the old, taking the new, and giving that package.
Yeah. So it's got a little bit of the new and a little bit of the old, and it kind of blends in pretty good together. So, take it on the freeway, 70, 75 miles an hour, no problem.
How about this rear end? I'll take some pictures for the audience. And you've got a tank, but you use copper line, going back to, some Home Depot conduit. You guys did, for your airlines, you guys did some copper tubing. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So the copper tubing kind of plays off the patina look on the, with a little bit of the rust mixed in. So it kind of blends in good with the black tanks and the black frame. So it kind of stands out a little bit.
Well, you got a really clean truck. I like your style, your rear fenders, your front inners, the bed sides, their inners on the bed. Really, you brought it all together. Do you get a lot of really positive feedback out at the shows?
I do. It's surprisingly enough, I got a lot of positive feedbacks, and it's got several awards, to my surprise, because there's a lot of nice trucks out there.
Yeah.
So, to get the amount of attention that I get, it's a huge honor.
The deal is people don't necessarily all have the vision. You've got a small back window, you put some pinstriping. You've embraced the parts of the truck that some people don't want. You give it its own attitude, and that's what makes it stand out. You know what I mean? You gave it its own identity, and you gave it its own personality. Do you have a name for the truck?
I don't. No, I never came up with the name. I just kind of...
the 64 or the old beater, the old truck?
Yeah, the old, beat up truck.
If your wife wants to take the truck out to dinner, what does she call it?
The old rusty truck.
Okay, the old rusty truck. How about social media? Do you have social media?
I do. So it's Pavel_Flores 64.
One more time.
Pavel_Flores 64.
Pavel_Flores 64 on Instagram. We'll check it out. I'll go around, take some pictures. Thank you, Pavel.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Wrapping it up. We've got the beats in the background, and Oscar moved this damn thing on me. I was eyeing it, thinking, okay, I'm going to interview him, and we ran into each other once again. So, Oscar, I love your truck. I love the style. Thanks for taking time to be on the podcast. Tell us about your beautiful, beautiful 1970 C10.
Well, what can I say? It's been about 15-year build. Started off as a dream truck, and it became my toy now. It looks, it's my hot rod, my Hot Wheel. I can say it's my style, my makings. I've never built a truck in my life, but I think I did okay.
You did really good. 15 years. I got to think that the style changed, right?
Yeah.
So what you thought you wanted 15 years ago, think about that. You're like, hey, in 06, this is when I bought it. I got it. I had a dream. And then what all changed, and how did you kind of deal with that process?
Well, not knowing the process, I did stuff twice. Did it once, then did it again, then did it again. Then new stuff came out and did it again. And hopefully now I'm done.
Yeah. Now, did you do it, or did you pay somebody, or did you have a team, or how did it all work?
I had a couple people help me out. Paint job was my brother-in-law out of Long Beach. I had Hector from 562. LS Swap helped me with the suspension and the engine on this one. And then my boy Botis did the sound system on it.
Okay, what motor is in it?
It's a 6.0.
Okay, 6.0, yeah. And then a 4L80?
4L80, yeah.
And then who picked those intros, because they did a good job?
I did.
Okay, yeah, you did a good job. Stance-wise, you're tucked. What's your suspension?
Suspension is CPP with the Willwood brake system on it. Yeah.
Okay, so do you know if you have like a 2.5 spindle with 2-inch spring or a 3-inch spring, or what the overall drop is?
It's it's on bags, so
okay.
It's on bags, so no springs on this one. Yeah.
Okay, so 2.5-inch spindle on bags. What air management are you running?
I have what is it?
Airlift, AccuAir.
AccuAir, I'm sorry.
AccuAir, okay, AccuAir. 3, 2, 1. What air management? 3, 2, 1. What's your suspension on this thing? I love the stance.
It's the suspension wise.
Well, we'll start over because I'm going to edit also. CPP. 3, 2, 1. Hey, I love the stance on this thing. What did you end up using for all your suspension?
CPP product.
And then it's air management wise?
Air management is AccuAir 1, 2, 3.
And then obviously the intros with the Willwoods. the number one thing with your truck is going to be essentially the paint.
Yeah.
It pops. It's nothing you're going to see. How did you pick that paint?
I'll give you a secret. I'm colorblind, and my wife picked the color.
She did a good job. Well, one thing you're not blind is you obviously picked a good wife, and she picked a great color. It's a little bit sea foamy. It's a little bit. It's kind of like an old Cadillac interior to me.
Yeah. And funny you say that. It did come out of a Cadillac color.
Okay.
So it's an original Chevy color.
It is a beautiful color.
Yeah.
Now, as a person who's colorblind, what color do you see when you see it?
I see the turquoise bluish green in it now. I'm colorblind when it comes to like dark colors, but I can't. I thought it was blue, and she's like, no, it's not blue.
It's not blue. It's not blue. Okay, wood floor. You did a great job on that.
Yeah, that's just I bought that. Who did I get that from? I think I got it from the truck shop, and then just varnished it, and I actually coated it with Pinot coat. Did about 8-9 layers on it. So, but yeah, I did all that myself in the garage.
What's next? I mean, I love how you kind of have the interior. I love that you kept the interior white with the turquoise-ish color that you have. What's next, and are you just done? Hey, I'm done. I'm ready to go.
I'm done with the truck for now, but building a 72 K5 coming out pretty soon.
Okay, yeah. So this one took 15 years, and now you got it, and now you figured it out, so you're ready to rip?
Ready to rip. Hopefully this one takes me a year.
What's the plan on the K5?
It's full frame restoration, 4x on 35s.
Well, you got the right guys behind you on it. I love your truck. Do you have a name for it?
No, I don't. I never gave it a name. I don't know why. They tell me, but I don't.
That's all right. You might come up with something. Is this the debut show for it? Have you been to a few shows with it, or is this the first one?
A few, yeah.
What's the response?
Everybody loves the color and the stance, yeah.
I gotta think your painter, give your painter an extra 12-pack, because whoever painted it.
That's a good thing.
Well, yeah, he needs. Give him something. I don't know, because he did a really good job. This thing really pops. I'll take some videos, some pictures. Thank you so much for taking time. Do you have social media or no?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's Oscar Mar, MAR 76.
Oscar Mar, no underscores, 76. Okay, I'll tag you. You guys check it out. I'll walk around it. Oscar, great job on the truck.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Thank you.
Wrapping it up, we've got Paul. Who else, right? So the 4th annual Slow Down. Tim, who grew up here, he just was giving me a hard time. I got to make sure. San Luis. See, that's what I say. I say Luis. He gets mad.
San Luis Obispo.
Okay, San Luis Obispo.
You got it.
Yeah, San Luis Obispo.
It's that easy.
San Luis. Slow.
Just slow.
I do say it slow.
I say it slow.
You say it slow?
I slow.
You slow the slow? San Luis Obispo. Slow.
Yes.
The slow.
Oh, I'm
The
slow.
4th annual C10 Slow Down.
Yeah.
You, your team, your wife, Nicole, I think.
Yeah.
John Oro, the Sacramento King, the mayor. You guys killed it. So
Thank you.
We're wrapping it up. Everybody's working around us. What are you thinking? Just the response, the weather, the trucks. It's all together. It's come together. It's such a great area. It's a great show, and you guys are killing it. Love this venue.
Thank you. It was awesome. We made some tweaks from last year just to make everything flow smoothly, and the roll-in of 1,000 trucks couldn't have been smoother. We split it up over the 2 days. That was the right choice.
The flow at the slow worked with the 2-day, and the key is for the audience. Even though it's a 2-day, there's not a lot going on Friday, but it gets people in, and then you got your area, and I assume that little bit of let off really helps on day 2.
Oh, yeah, it made everything a lot lighter. We also did a roll in a little bit earlier, and there was no traffic. It was amazing. It was no traffic at all.
Takes the stress off you, right? And your team and your volunteers and your staff.
Oh, yeah. Last year, we had cars backed up 4.5 miles to the 101. This year, not past the signal. There was no traffic. So it worked out. I had to figure out a way to make that work, or else the county was going to shut it down. We did it. And, we couldn't have gone any smoother, really, I don't think.
Well, in the first year, you probably didn't even anticipate it, and it was a little bit of a traffic jam. Yeah. If I remember, you pulled everybody off to the golfing area over there, and that made some relief. So you made an adjustment.
having the 2-day this year, making the adjustment, the VIP area, the food, the lunch, the drinks, the entertainment, the trucks, the vendor alley. I mean, I go to a lot of shows. This is up there. It's a very good show.
That's saying something. I know you go to a lot of shows. To hear that from you, that means a lot to me. It really does.
Let me tell you what I love about your show is it's a family-friendly show. So for you guys out there, if you're looking to get out west, great weather, bring your family, and now with it being a 2-day show, it's like, hey, come maybe a day early, stay a day late, experience downtown San Luis Obispo, no P, and bring it all together.
Totally. Yeah, this was kind of like a tester to just see what was that going to work out like. Was bringing half the cars in going to work, and it did. And it did. So
and the vendors getting them in.
Yeah, everyone just got in. It just seemed like setup was a lot easier, a lot of mellow. It was just smooth.
Good.
Everything.
What's next? I mean, you got a couple weeks to settle things down, and then are you already thinking new dates for next year, or take a break?
Got to get through the intervention first. Yeah. One thing at a time, but we're just looking at how we tweak it again, just to kind of keep stepping it up every year, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, again, I love it. Had a great time. Love the atmosphere. Love the show. Love the vibe. The flow at the slow. It was kicking. We're going to go out to dinner, enjoy the weather. Anything you would change? Anything that you're thinking? Anything that went extremely well? Anything that you're like, holy shit, I can't believe this worked?
We'll see how we enhance that first day. That's what we're going to see.
Yeah. Well, I like the adjustment. And like you said, you made it a day 2 adjustment. Yeah. That took the relief off. Yeah. And now you can say, okay, we have that day. Yeah. What can we do with that day to play around with that?
Exactly.
And let us know.
Exactly. And that's what we were trying to do, is just see what was it going to be like loading in 500 trucks in the middle of the day on a Friday. It worked. Yeah. It worked. Yeah. So, I'm thinking maybe we'll do it 2 full days, and see how that works.
Take the relief off and just see how, again, my advice is you give them a place to all get in and hang out in a venue and a good time. People will show up. Truck guys are going to do what they do. I walked all the way back to the last truck, something I kind of like to do, and people were partying. There was canopies set up all up and down. People are having a good time, and that's what it's all about.
That is. I have gotten so much out of the club, and that was what I want to do. Is I want to give it back. I want to do something for the club and the community, and just show them a little bit of something different. The Central Coast is kind of a pocket here, and I wanted to bring people over here and let them see what it's about.
Well, when you think about it, you're really able to pull in from all areas. California is so big, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, so up and down and all around. We love it. Good luck for the 5th. Keep us posted. Again, great show for the 4th. Loved it. And I would highly recommend this show to anybody out there listening, especially if you're looking to get a break from that miserable summer weather. Come out. For the audience, you're looking at jeans and a sweatshirt at night, and during the day, short sleeve and some shorts, and it's just perfect. So, Paul, thank you. Your wife, Nicole, your team, keep it up. If there's anything we can do, let us know.
Hey, thank you. Just keep showing that love, and we're going to send it right back to you guys. We
got it. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Wrapping it up. What do you guys think? 294. I had a great time walking around. Definitely a variety of trucks. You got your high end. You got some that are high, some that are low. You got your drivers. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. I threw a couple OBSs in there too. Obviously, the 2 that I did grab, you couldn't pass those up. One OG and then the 454 SS. So I'll throw those in OBS talk and push that on over there as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Todd and Jen Manchester, I know you got your show this weekend. I hope the weather's perfect and everybody rolls out. Olympia, Washington, C10's on the Capitol. Have a great week, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Late.